I came to the Recycle Garage beginning of September 2014, I believe. I was over at a coffee shop downtown, and I was there's a couple dudes there talking bikes. I went over to them. I've been thinking about buying a bike, and asked just like what's a good starter bike or all that, and it happened to be on a Sunday, and they said I should stop by here, direct me to here. I believe it was Andrew Denton. Directed me to stop by here, and so was like, yeah, maybe I'll go stop by, and came and walked by and saw people hanging out, and was like, oh yeah, I don't know, and then like walked into the block and was like, yeah, I'll go by, fuck it. It's like, I was like, yeah, kind of looking for like a Honda Shadow kind of deal or something like that. And within about 20 minutes, they had Mason on the phone who was selling his Honda Shadow 500, and I went and looked at it that day and bought it the next day. Wow. And then rode it down here. I think I took it to a parking lot around my house for a little while, and then I think Mason rode it to my house, and then I rode it down here the following Sunday, and I've been here pretty much every Sunday since, unless I couldn't be. So I was out of town. Honda Shadow is crashed. I planted it into the back of a Subaru because the brakes were never very good on it. And I was probably riding a little bit too fast for the conditions. Not hurt. I was not hurt. I rode it home. Very scrambled. Riding very scrambled. Cruising scrambled, I suppose. But right now I ride a 2001 SV650 named Laz that I got for free from a dude who lived across the street, and resurrected it from not running to running very, very nicely. It was a SV650S with the fairing and the clip-ons, and I put ATV bars and brush guards and redid all the instruments and everything. So no, it rides like kind of a mix between like a dirt bike and a sport bike. I like it. Well, number one, I've always loved like dynamic systems that I could be part of. I played a lot of video games when I was younger. I was like driving because it was kind of cool. You were like in the moment, and it made you in the moment in a certain way where you had to like act and respond, and you could get into this flow. And riding gets me into that flow even more. And so that's really what it's about for me. It also made me a lot less of a pansy. It makes me feel like if I could do this, I can kind of do anything. What could possibly be scarier than this? So then I kind of can take that and apply that to other parts of my life where I'm like, oh, I got to go ask for a raise. What could possibly be scary about asking for a raise after like doing twisties at like warp speed?
Totally. Hold on, I'm going to pause it.
It's a great group of eclectic people who love motorcycles, love working on motorcycles, love everything about motorcycles. We ride a lot of different types of bikes. We do a lot of different types of riding, but somehow we all find community and we all find friendship and togetherness in what we do. I mean, there's been so many that it's kind of hard to pick, but I mean, just to give you one, like last weekend was great, and like it was one of those, like it was raining, so we had all these tents up, and we lashed all these tents together. We built a fantastic tent city, and somehow like we're all having like a really great time. I mean, admittedly, had a couple beers around noon, but like. I remember there was a point in the day when, like, me and John were both wearing, like, the David Bowie tracksuits, and there's, like, we had, like, unzipped the zipper and, like, put the dildos in there, and we're, like, taking pictures and walking around, and then I put on, like, the pink dick crown, and was, like, and just, like, we're just, like, hanging out, having a good time, just, like, letting the freak flag fly, And I remember there was one moment where, like, these new people show up, and I'm like, oh, hi, how you doing? I'm Zach. In, like, this David Bowie tracksuit and a dick crown. Totally forgot what I was wearing completely. and just like, this has to look so weird, but this is so the garage.
Yeah.
Like this day and like what these people are walking into, this is so this place. And Naked Ride, obviously. Naked Rides are many of their favorite moments, just because there's no other ride like that. I am leaving the garage, sadly.
Very, very, very sad.
I do not do it lightly, but my life takes me back to Western Mass.
But we're all secretly hoping that you hate it and will come back to us.
Keep on letting your freak flag fly. Like, keep the spirit of the place alive. And admittedly, like, I walked into that spirit, so it's not, I mean, I'm sure I helped create it to some extent. But it's awesome. I mean, I walked into it and kind of breathed it in and was like, where has this been all my life? And I hope that it can be that for other people. So try to make it a scene where someone of the right mind can walk in and go, where has this place been all my life? And then can become a regular like I did. I miss the garage every single day of the week, except for Sunday. And then when I get home on Sunday, I miss the garage.
Oh.
This is church. This is like church. This place is like church for me. It's my Sunday. I come here. I work on bikes, talk about bikes, drink cheap Mexican beer, and you know, it's just kind of just immerse myself in this. And I'm gonna have to do the same thing on Sunday out there. I'll just have to do it by myself or with a friend.
Zach to me, he's a friend. He's come to help out here and there, and helps everybody out. Nice guy.
I wasn't prepared for this. Me neither.
It's okay.
Zach is off the cool meter. Way off the cool meter. It's right there. It says cool. Off the charts.
Off the charts.
Zach is amazing. I go to him for help, and he's just a really cool dude. I've known him for a couple of years now. I think he's been hanging out here a couple of years.
How do you feel about him leaving?
Really down to earth
us?
guy. Don't remind me of that.
We want to know.
You're gonna be missed.
Yeah.
We miss you
Zach's
already.
leaving?
I know, right?
So a little bit
Zach's a
about
great guy. He's very motivated. He's a real asset to have in the garage. He's a great sound man. I have a lot of things to say about him. I just can't think about him right now.
Liza?
Interesting fact about Zach I recently found out.
That's why he's so happy and just kind of like nonchalant about a lot of stuff.
He's a good guy. He's ours. And he should stick around longer, but he can't.
And he has a nice ass.
He does have a really nice ass. He's got a good white boy booty. Yeah. Yeah, no, he's like, he's one of the go-to dudes.
Zach's the first person I met from Re-cyclegarage, and I remember he was sitting with a really shitty jacket at Pergolesi having coffee, and I was looking for a group ride and people who rode motorcycles, and it was very interesting to run into him because he's like, oh, come over and check out this place down there. He was a little hesitant to bring me over there. I think he just took one look at me and was like, well, I don't know if you're a good fit. But he invited me over, or I insisted that he take me to the garage, and I did. And Zach helped me rebuild Pumpkin, like from the ground up, 100%. Did most of the work really. And yeah, he's definitely going to be missed when he's gone from the garage. So hopefully he comes back. Hopefully he realizes Connecticut and the colonies suck. Nobody likes the 13 colonies. That's it.
So you're gonna ask me a question, or am I just gonna say it? Okay. Zach, he's a fucker, but he's my late night West Cliff wheelie rockin' badass motherfucker. That's who he is. Yeah, shout out to Zach. Peace.
When I first met Zach, it was at the museum, you remember? There was a group of you who came to visit me in the museum. It seems like a million years ago. And I took to Zach straight away. He's one of the sweetest guys I know. And God, I'm going to miss him so much. We're all going to miss him. Zach, I love you. Good luck. I hope things go well for you. Really.